Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Lion with Hobbies of a Man, and today we're going to be talking about the start of my manga collection. As of February 23rd, I decided to begin collecting manga as I, start reading it. So I did have a couple manga volumes, or I do have a couple manga volumes at home, but I've never actively collected, and so now I've decided to start doing so. And the reason I started doing so is because manga and light novels and anime and all that type of media is something I've never really tapped into, not properly at least. Not the same way I have Western novels, and so I want to start doing that. Anyway, so this manga haul is 5 volumes. I picked up one in January, and then the rest of them in February. And yeah, so to start off, I got My Hero Academia Volume 1. I picked it up at Walmart, and the reason I picked it up was because it was pretty cheap. It was like discounted, and I hadn't seen My Hero Academia in any of the bookstores I usually go to, so I just picked it up. Everyone knows what it's about. I'm sure most people have watched the anime. The new movie that came out this February was really good too. So yeah, I'm not gonna really explain it in depth, but basically it's just a young man who wants to be a superhero but has no powers, and then he gains powers and he starts his journey, and that's it. And then after that, basically the first thing I bought was a light novel, and it's this one, Do You Love Your Mom and Her 2-Hit Multi-Target Attacks. This one's kind of weird. It's like an isekai, so the characters are transported from Earth to a different world, or to a different world. In this case, a video game that the Japanese government made in order to help promote relationships between parents and their children, specifically moms and their children for some reason. And so it follows the mom character, her, and her son as they go through this game. And yeah, she's like super overpowered compared to him, but it's really funny, and it's like an enjoyable read, and it's really short for a light novel, so I recommend it. After that, I went to a used bookstore and I got 3 books, 2 manga and 1 light novel. And so the first manga I got was There's a Demon Lord on the Floor, which focuses on her, who's the Demon Lord. Her name is Amon Patricia, as she interacts with the human world, basically. She's like a kid most of the time because she's low on magic energy, and because of she's on Earth, and so she can't gather energy well. But the people that she is interacting with are workers at a restaurant, and the main cook for the restaurant is so good at cooking that his food gives her the energy necessary to activate her proper adult form for a certain amount of time after she eats. And yeah, so basically it's just a bunch of cute girls doing cute things and that type of shenanigans and stuff. It's really cute and funny, and there's some fan service, ecchi type of situations going on, but they're confined to like adult looking characters, I guess. Like, I think so. I might be wrong. There might be 1 or 2 panels that are like ecchi, but like with like a petite character. But I'm pretty sure it's mostly with proper adult looking characters. I'm trying to find some. Anyway, the fan service is really not that high in this anyways, or it's not like crazy. Like there's some manga and stuff that are over the top. This one's like pretty mild, just enough to be funny and interesting, but not so much that you're basically, you know, reading an adult novel, or yeah, I guess like an erotica or something. And then after that, I got To Your Eternity. I saw this on a bunch of people's YouTube videos, and I was like interested in it. It follows this orb thing that fell from the sky, whose sole purpose is just to take in information and like grow and learn about the world, basically. And so it initially turned into a wolf, and then to this guy after, you know, stuff happens in the book, and I don't want to spoil it. But basically, I picked it up because it sounded interesting, and I read a book by Isaac Asimov, or like based on stuff from Isaac Asimov. That was basically the same premise as this. It was like this robotic entity that fell from the sky and then started consuming information about its surroundings, and eventually became this wolf thing. And then, yeah. And so I picked it up because it sounded like that, and it's pretty interesting. It's kind of hard hitting, or like emotionally draining a bit, because it deals with a couple things that are pretty, like, they're not horrible, but it tugs at your heartstrings, you know, and it's really cool. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if I'm gonna collect the whole series, but if I see the next volume at the used bookstore, I'll pick it up. And yeah. And so the last thing I got was this other light novel, Occultic 9. And this is kind of like a murder mystery slash occult kind of thing, obviously, because the title is occult. I'm halfway through it. I basically read everything already except this, and I'm halfway through it right now, and it's pretty interesting. It's kind of slow going. A lot of it is basically character work. The plot line hasn't really established itself, and you don't really know what's going on yet. You're just kind of going chapter by chapter with a different character and kind of figuring what they think and who they are and stuff. But yeah, I think this is a pretty old series by J Novel Club. Like it came out in like 2016 or something like that. So there's more than one volume. So I'm excited to get the next one once they finish this. And yeah, that's it. Other thing I got was Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World, on an ebook, volume 1. This is the light novel, not the manga. Well, actually, I don't even think they have a manga adaptation. But yeah, this is like the original story, volume 1 of the light novel, which follows Kazuma, the male protagonist, and three other people who are all like assholes. They're very like realistic-ish, or at least they're not like goody two-shoes like most people in books tend to be. And yeah, it's really fun. It's kind of anti-trope, I guess, but I think it's actually older than most current light novels, so maybe it's not anti-trope as much as it is the original exploration of it. And yeah, I really recommend it. I haven't seen the anime yet, but I've heard that it's really good, so maybe I'll check it out after this. Yeah, and then I also ordered 3 volumes of the Dungeon of Black Company from Manga Swap, like the subreddit. And as of the recording, they haven't they haven't arrived at my location, so I guess I'll put those in my next haul at the end of March. And yeah, mostly I'm probably gonna be pretty caught up, if not completely up to date on all of the volumes I buy. So at the end of my haul, I'll have read most of them, since I'm starting out small. Or, well, I'm trying to not waste much money because, you know, I'm a college student, so it's not beneficial to me to waste too much money. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Please like and subscribe, and thank you for listening to me.